So, I recently wrapped up my review series for all 9 seasons of Dexter. So I figured today I would go ahead and rank all 9 of those seasons from the worst to the best, including all 8 seasons of the main series plus New Blood. So let's go ahead and get started at number 9 in last place. And this one's very easy for me, and it's gonna be Dexter Season 8. I really did not care for this season whatsoever. It was clear that the showrunners were completely running out of ideas, and Michael C. Hall felt tired despite giving a good performance. They really had nothing useful to do with Deb except to kill her off at the very end. Oliver Saxon is a horrible villain. He would have worked better as a villain of the week, or maybe a 2-episode villain, not as a main villain. And the introduction of the nurse who helped Harry come up with the code. Sorry, that's 8 seasons too late. Should have been introduced earlier if that was going to be the case the entire time. So it's easily in last place. Number 8, slightly better, is Dexter Season 6. And I don't hate this season as much as I dislike Season 8, but this is still not a really great season. Michael C. Hall is always great as Dexter, so I'm not going to single him out in every single entry. The story is a little more interesting here. The Doomsday Killer is okay. He's not great. Really felt like they were recycling some things about the Trinity Killer from Season 4. But it's not a horrible season. It's not a great season. It kind of fell off once Brother Sam was killed halfway through the season. And I really love Brother Sam. I wish he wasn't killed off like he was. But that's about it for this season. Number 7 is going to be the newest series, Dexter New Blood. I did not hate this series like a lot of people did. I was just kind of underwhelmed in the end with how they chose to wrap things up. It was a good build-up with a very poor payoff, in my opinion. Clancy Brown was really good as the main villain, and I really liked the kid they had playing Harrison in this season. And I really liked the small town setting as opposed to the Miami setting of the main series. It felt more self-contained. But again, the payoff for this season and the way they chose to end it, the entire last 20 minutes and the execution of it was just lazy to me, so it's here at number 7. Number 6 is going to be Dexter Season 7. I find this to be a very underrated season of Dexter, and I really enjoy it. There's a couple things I'm not big on. It introduced Hannah McKay, who I really don't care for. But Isaac Sirko is a really badass villain, and this is the last good season of Deborah Morgan. And it breaks my heart to say that because I love Deborah Morgan, I love Jennifer Carpenter, but they just couldn't find something for her to do in Season 8 or in New Blood. But this was a really good season with the whole cat and mouse game starting back up between Dexter and a cop who thinks that he might be hiding something. Where Season 2 it was Dokes, this season it's Maria LaGuerta. Even though Maria LaGuerta really got on my nerves this season, I enjoyed the whole cat and mouse between her and Dexter. And Isaac Sirko, like I said, great villain. Number 5 is going to be Season 5, and I honestly think this is also a very underrated season. Lumen Pierce is honestly a very underrated character in this series. I wish she was in more than one season, but the way they ended her character arc made sense as to why she didn't come back. But I really liked the story to this season with Dexter trying to come to terms with the fact that Rita is no longer here. She is dead. And trying to forgive himself for allowing it to happen because of his stubborn refusal to kill the Trinity Killer before he actually did in season 4. I really love the whole character development that we get for Dexter, and like I said in my review, it's easily the most human portrayal of Dexter that I have seen in this show, in my opinion at least. So yeah, I really like this season, and the Barrel Girl Gang, absolutely terrific villains. Not as great as some other villains in this show, but still really fun villains, very evil. Number 4 is gonna be season 3, and my top 4 are easily 10 out of 10 seasons. If you've been watching my Dexter reviews, you know that. But I really do love this season. A lot of people say it's a mess season or it's not as good, but I disagree. And aside from the Skinner being a weak-ish serial killer villain, Miguel Prado, played by Jimmy Smits, more than makes up for that. And I love the story with Dexter finding a friend in Miguel Prado, someone he can teach the code to, who eventually just goes crazy and kills whoever he wants, so Dexter has to take him down. I really loved that aspect to this season. And like I said, Jimmy Smits is absolutely terrific as the character of Miguel Prado. And I kind of wish we got him stretched out over another season, but with how season 4 went, I wasn't too bothered by the fact that we only got one season of Miguel Prado, but yeah, I really like season 3. Third place, taking the bronze medal. Now, my number 2 and my number 3 can switch on any day. Depending on what mood I'm in, when you ask me, it could be one of these two at 2 and 3. But today, I'm feeling number 3 is going to be season 1. And this is a terrific season. It started one of my favorite TV shows of all time, introduced one of my favorite fictional characters of all time, and I just love this entire setting that's set up in this season. Introduced to not just Dexter, but a whole cast of other great characters. Deborah Morgan, Harry Morgan, Angel Batista, Vince Masuka, James Dokes, Maria LaGuerta, aside from her season 7 portrayal. I just really love everything about this season, and it's really hard for me to choose whether I like this season or season 2 more. I just like this, like I said, I can have season 1 or 2 at my number 2 or my number 3, depending on what mood I'm in and what day you ask me. But right now it's at number 3. Number 2, the runner-up, is gonna be season 2. And I love everything about this season as well. I thought Lila West was a really good villain for this season. James Dokes gets his time to shine as the other main villain, going after Dexter because he's creeped out by Dexter. He knows something's up with him. And I really love the cat and mouse game between Dexter and Dokes in this season. And the whole FBI investigation into Dexter's crimes, but the FBI doesn't know that Dexter's the killer. I really love that aspect. Frank Lundy is a great character. I just wish that he hadn't dated Deborah. That was just weird in my opinion. And also, I kind of wish James Dokes hadn't died at the end of this season, but if they kept him alive, it would have just made him look completely inept if Dexter had not been arrested by the time Dokes actually did die. But I enjoyed this entire season. Terrific payoff to a lot of stuff set up at the end of season 1. I just really love it. But number 1 is easily the best season of television I have probably ever seen, and that is season 4. I love everything about this season, from Dexter being a suburban dad, he's married, trying to balance his home life, his work life, and his serial killer life. The introduction of the greatest villain in TV history with John Lithgow as the Trinity Killer. Everything about this season is just absolute perfection from every aspect, from the filming, the score, the editing, the creepiness of John Lithgow's performance. Everything is just elevated to a 10,000 in this season, and I absolutely love it. And the thing that really sticks with me about this season is how it ended, because Dexter kills the Trinity Killer, but he goes home to find that the Trinity Killer had already killed Rita. And even though Dexter dispatched the Trinity Killer still won in the end, because he killed the one person Dexter has ever truly loved as a lover. And even though he does end up with Lumen Pierce and Hannah McKay later in the series, he just never had what he had with Rita with any of his future love interests throughout the series. And I just found that to be an absolute gut punch of an ending. I really loved this entire season, so it comes in at number 1. So that was my ranking of all 9 seasons of Dexter. What's your favorite season? What's your least favorite season? I'd love to hear from you. I'll drop a link to the playlist of all of my reviews down in the description. If you haven't checked those out, make sure to check those out if you want to. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.